How y'all doing? Been a little minute. I'm trying to piece together these little videos. Hopefully, this one is a little bit interesting. If you're looking for something that's probably a little more exciting, this probably ain't gonna be the video for you. Um, this probably is gonna be a video that's a little more informative. It's something that's a little more sensitive to me. Back when I was doing a little bit of a writing, kind of freelance writing here in Virginia, which I'll talk about in another video. I was kind of going around to different car meets, and I was living in different places a lot. So I got to experience different car meets, different car markets, larger car markets than the one that I'm currently living in. So the video kind of elaborates on what I thought about the mix of the car meets that I had the most, and how I really would like to see those transition into helping and investing more um, into more of the automotive community, to kind of help them and to kind of help us. Some communities are already doing it, but I just wanted to get a disclaimer out there so I don't offend anybody that I am probably cool with, and some that I'm not cool with that may see the video or not. It's just a forward way of thinking, and that's really all the video kind of is. And I kind of elaborate on a little bit on an article that never came out. But let's get right to it. Like I said, I'll try to make it small and lengthy, but no promises. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. If that's something you ain't into, another video. Here we go. So basically, I really feel as far as our car community is concerned, I'm currently in Richmond, Virginia. And in Richmond, Virginia, here, I always ask myself every time I go to a meet here, or if I go to a meet in Atlanta or Georgia, Charlotte, wherever I tend to go to meets at. Even when I was living in Atlanta some while ago, I thought the same exact thing as what I'm about to tell you. I said, why don't meets charge money? Why don't they charge money? I didn't understand it. Back when, before Caffeine and Octane was even coming on TV, I was attending the meet actually. I was living in Atlanta and I was going to the meets. Almost 7 years ago, I was attending the meets when they were in Alpharetta, off of 400. Now they're Perimeter Mall. I think about when I left, they were at Perimeter Mall. So that was before they got on TV. They had a lot of financial backing and stuff like that. So I didn't know how they were getting this backing, how they were getting all these people there, and they were able to do a meet this large. This thing is at a mall and probably has, I don't know, 3,000 people there. To me, all I see is customers. Sorry, all I see is customers. I see a lot of enthusiasts, I see a lot of money, but potentially I see a lot of customers. And when you look at the TV show, you should also see customers. That's why you see commercials. That's why you see T-shirts. That's why you see mugs. All those things are marketed toward you, which you are potentially a customer when you go to these meets. And sometimes we as enthusiasts don't know that the actual person who's controlling the event is fitting a lot of these bills themselves. Every event is not Caffeine and Octane. Some events are just good, wholesome people who just want to see people together, and they're fighting every single month or year to make the event that much bigger. But progression is actually slowed if you're not paying to get into these events. When you talk about special events with track days and all, we're just talking about a monthly event, just a bi-weekly event, just one on the 1st, one on the 15th, skip a week, we repeat and do the same thing over again. So everybody out there has been to a meet like that. They're not uncommon. The normal one that everybody goes to around the country is like Cars and Coffee, Caffeine and Octane. They have other ones in California that are designed the exact same way. So I always rack my brain about the fact of, do I think that these meets should be charging? I absolutely do. I think they should be charging. And here's why. The reason why I think they should be charging is because as enthusiasts, I feel as though if you're serious about your automotive community, you should be servicing that community instead of the person who's in charge of the meet servicing you. They have more interest and more skin in the game than you ever will have. You could stop going to the meet, they're still going to be there. A lot of times the people who are servicing these meets or doing these meets, they're arranging the contracts. They are arranging the time slots. They're arranging for the videographers. They're arranging for police if there will be some, or traffic, people moving traffic, which way to come in and out, and cones and all that kind of stuff. Things that are put up before you even get there. And a lot of times they are doing all this just for you, and they get absolutely nothing in return. So, here in Virginia, I do feel as though we have a very lucky market, but a market not taken advantage of. Here in Virginia, where we stay at here, you do have Thornsburg, you have Richmond, and you have the track in Dinwiddie, which is Virginia Motorsports Park. So we have everything covered from road racing to autocross to a small drag track to a long drag track, all within a 60 to 80-mile radius. So we pretty much can do whatever we feel like doing in any given weekend that we feel like doing automotively. A lot of places cannot do that. Even when I lived in Raleigh, the closest big track that you could go to was probably Charlotte. Did they do autocross in between in some places? Absolutely, they did. But the big track that you could go to that had everything going on, it was in Charlotte, just outside of where Detroit Speed would be, further than the highway. And I really feel as though a lot of places don't have that. Atlanta has a beautiful track, but you have to be in Atlanta or near in that area to even go to. That's the biggest one they have. So a lot of places within the direct market here or close to Richmond, they don't really have a track like that. I mean, Budds Creek does, but it's just Budds Creek, Maryland. That's a very good track, but it's just a drag track, and that's really all it kind of is. So the Atlanta market and the I would say the Atlanta, Charlotte, maybe Greensboro, some of Atlanta. I feel like that market they are more invested. Their tracks do host a lot of things, and people tend to come out quite a bit. Especially Atlanta. When you look at the Atlanta market, Atlanta has a big Nissan market. So they're doing meets during the week, sometimes three meets during the week. Big G35, 350Z, Z1 Motorsports is there. It's a big market for the Nissan Infinity market that's there. You see a ton of stuff like that, a ton of big guys there. Even that dude in blue is there. He relocated from Virginia to Atlanta. The reason why. It's a bigger market. Atlanta is probably the closest thing here on the East Coast that you're going to get to Los Angeles that you can even get to. The only market I can think that could probably mess with Atlanta is probably Houston. That's about it. But as far as that market, the Atlanta market is pretty well invested. Before that TV show even got on TV, I was telling people it was going to be huge. So it's no secret of why it's the way it is now. It's no secret the reason why he's doing so well there. That market is absolutely great. They don't charge to get into that event, but that market does do is they overwhelm you at Caffeine and Octane with so many cars and so many things to buy. When you go to that event, it's T-shirts, it's mugs, it's hats. They're making a ton of money off of video. They're making money off of TV. It's on TV all the time. Big name people, big stars. So they're getting paid from that event. Whether they're getting paid from you coming to that event or not, you're just free advertisement, or they're getting paid from marketing and from TV and from ratings. So we don't have that here in Virginia. So I feel like when you have one person putting on an event, whether it's here or Charlotte or wherever it is, Florida, you look at these events and you have 300 to 700 people coming there and nobody pays anything. It's just set up. It's just set up for you to come there. And I feel that's a little bit selfish to put all that on one specific person. Because if you have a videographer there, a lot of times the video guy, that's his camera. That's his SD card. That's his lens. That's his website. He's probably posting it on. The only thing that's probably free for that person is if they're on a closed group for that particular event and they post the pictures up for you and I to view. That's done for free. Everything else, he cannot be paid because there's no money generated. Do I think the fee should be a large one? Absolutely not. I don't think it should be a large one. But I do feel as though we as enthusiasts should have some skin in the game. What do you what do you think that a person feels when they're throwing an event and they have a larger goal in mind? Let's say they want to throw events. Let's say they want a half-mile track event. Let's say they want to start doing some track days and other things hosted by them. These things cost money. They can't generate all the money they need to do all these things by just selling you T-shirts. They can't do it by just selling you a hat. You need residual money to come in to pay a better team, to pay people who would be more serious to showing you where to park, to addressing issues within the event. Maybe you got a young kid that's there, 16, 17 years old, just got his license, he's spending time doing burnouts and stuff. We need to find a way to talk to him. Security needs to be paid, or maybe you have to pay a private security, or maybe there's a fee that the police department is actually charging you to do your event after hours. Every event isn't a cars and coffee or morning event. Some events people host at night. That happens all the time, all around the country. And who do you think are policing these events all the time? It's the police, but please believe it. Sometimes the police are paid to do stuff that are not on their schedule. So how is that being paid? That's being paid by the person who's doing the event. That's how it's getting paid. A lot of times the contracts are negotiated based on your behavior at the event. I could have an event, and guess what? People could be leaving in a rage and doing donuts and all kind of stuff. You think they're gonna keep giving me the parking spaces in that side of the mall if everybody's acting crazy? Absolutely not. So that leaves the person that's doing the event in kind of a weird situation where they're always negotiating time, they're always negotiating space, they're always negotiating their deal just for you to come out there and sit by your car and talk with your friends. It to me it still seems to be selfish. If you're running your own business, you'll kind of see maybe where I'm going with this. Is that you're doing all of it, but you're getting nothing in return except for your little monetary money that you have in marketing your product to try to make ends meet whenever you can, or if you're lucky enough to even have a t-shirt brand or a line of shirts that people are interested enough to maybe spend $20 on a t-shirt when you come out there. The average person is probably, some will invest, some will not. That's just, I feel some will invest, some will not, and some are just there just to walk around with coffee in their hands and sunglasses and talk to their friends. They're not gonna give you a dime, honestly. That's just how that particularly goes. So behind the scenes, a lot of times, you as the enthusiast customer, you don't see what goes on. You don't see the negotiations. You don't see the conversations that happen when you got to try to keep your contract with the person that's lending you this space, because you had some dummies do some crazy stuff in their cars and they threaten to take your space availability away from you because we ain't signed on for crazy stuff. Or you have sponsors that want to come out there and look at what you have going on so they can give you more money and try to help you. Sponsors don't want to be involved with people out there being reckless. Why would you put your name on somebody else's product and they can't control their people? That sounds like a bad situation for you to be in. If you own the company and you go out there and there's a bunch of reckless behavior going on, this is a person giving you money to do better things in your future, but you can't control your people. So if you can't control your people, I can't give you any money. I can't give you anything. So that also backfires on the person who is doing the event. All of that backfires on the other person. But if you had skin in the game and you were giving this person money weekly when you come in there, maybe you would act better. I know I would. If I had money invested in it, I probably would act better. I'd be like, well, I'm giving this person my money every week. When I come here to this event, I would expect something. I would expect a food truck. I would expect maybe a better line of t-shirts. But then again, I'm giving this person money so they, in the right frame of mind and right business sense, you would get a person in the right situation who would do all these things for you. The right person, not a person who will take all your profits and jack them off into a car. That's not going to work. You come to the event, this car got all the best stuff, and you're still not getting anything. So that still wouldn't work. But you would want the person in the right frame of mind that's doing this event to help you out. So personally, if you look at the situation, and I'll look at my situation personally, so I'll use me as an example. Going to the average event that I go to maybe sometimes twice a month, I gas my car with $20. I go to the gas station, maybe pick up an orange juice. I'll get hungry while I'm there, so maybe I'll go to a Chick-fil-A or something. So currently right now I have gas, probably a little orange juice that I'm driving on the way there with. Maybe I got hungry and got some Chick-fil-A, so that's $5. Another one's $3 for the drink, and we got about $20 in gas. Not too bad yet. Not too bad. So where we at? About $28, right? I have a toll that I have to take there, which is also very expensive. So now we at about $5 for the toll. So now we're in the 30s. What if I do that twice a month? First and the 15th. What if I do that twice a month? So now I'm at $60 that I've spent to go to my event just to shake some of y'all hand or talk to people who don't know me. I don't know you. You want to look at my car? I want to look at your stuff. $60 a month. Is it worth it? I do it just because I want to support, because I want to support my area. But in some sense, I'm not getting anything out of it. the other person isn't either. The other person isn't getting anything either. I would be, sounds ludicrous, but I'd be willing to spend the money and then still go to that event. And when I get there, if it's the summertime, maybe I pay $1 to get in. If it's the wintertime, I pay $2 just because the average amount of people in the wintertime here in the area that we're in is about 300 people, if you're lucky. Summertime, about 600, maybe 800 people are usually through that event. That's a lot of money to help a person further the venture onto the next level and what we could probably try to get to. Well, you could have other things going on. You could have better people. You could have the goals met faster. You could have so many better quality things going on in your automotive community. And that's what I mean about investing. If you invest in your community, and what's $1 or $2? The average person would probably say, I'm not going to pay $1 or $2 if I go sit in the parking lot across the street. Yeah, you could. But why would you want to do that? Why would you want to have the attitude of you could do that when you could actually further help the person that's been helping you the longest? I paid a $1 or $2. And frankly, just being blunt, if I was running an event and you didn't want to pay me $1 or $2 to come in there, I probably wouldn't want your business anyway. I just probably wouldn't want your business. I feel like $1 or $2 is not a lot of money invested to help bi-weekly. You're already spending like $30 to get there. And the average person is still gonna drive around. They're still gonna drive around after the meet. You're still driving your project car maybe sometimes 2-3 times during the week. So I mean, what's $1 or $2? $1 or $2 ain't hurt nothing, but collectively from everybody at the meet, it could help out so much more. It could help out. It could help out the automotive community so much more in the area that you're in. That maybe it's a stagnant area, but that amount of money weekly for a long amount of time, that could get you so many more things. Honestly, I think personally, it could probably get you better t-shirts, food truck, better events, half mile, maybe mile events, renting out better venues. You could probably move the venue that you're at to a larger venue with more cars that could invite more people into the market or into the city that you're having. It could do so many more things. Maybe you could get a newsletter. Maybe you could get another magazine. You could do so many more things that could draw awareness into the market that we currently have and just grow the market and grow the area. But you have to invest. You have to invest in the person and don't just go there and see the person that's throwing the event, shake their hand, talk with them for 5 or 10 minutes or so, and and that's kind of it. At the end of the day, you didn't help at all, and not sure if that person would even allow you to help. But this is just an example to show you that all around the country, this goes on countless places all around the country. So I personally believe that I wish that they charge. I would probably pay more to get in just because I would know that I'm investing in the culture that I'm in. Spending money on these kind of cars all the time, whether it's a Honda Civic, Corvette, or classic muscle car or whatever, the average person is spending, I don't know, $5 grand a year, $3 grand a year. The guys out there got 40 grand wrapped in a car. Sometimes even more. Some guys have exotics that they paid 100,000 for cars. Sometimes 200,000 out there for a car. So I don't see why paying the money in a certain sense wouldn't be wouldn't be sufficient. Not probably everybody thinks like that, but that's just what I particularly think as far as furthering our culture and weeding out some of the bad people and making sure that if you are investing, people are more reluctant to mess up something that they've invested. Just my opinion. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Be safe.